I'm not gonna lie, I get road rage. I mean, I've never been unhinged on this degree, but I've been close. Not really. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. Russell Crowe is pissed. Are you guys seeing Unhinged this weekend? One of the first movies to come back to theaters. Now, I didn't get a chance to see it in a theater. I was fortunate enough to get a screener, but I need you in the comments down below. Are you excited for this very interesting, simple, but interesting concept, and to see Russell Crowe wreaking havoc on the big screen? I need your comments down below, and if you like these reviews, let me know. I'd love to bring you more this weekend. All right, Unhinged. So after a confrontation with an unstable man at an intersection, a woman becomes the target of his rage. And I say that in a silly way because this really is just a silly premise for a movie. Now, it takes itself pretty seriously at times, even though the plot itself does go off the rails. I thought the actors were genuinely trying. No one was really over the top. Now, was the dialogue over the top at times? Yes, absolutely, but you read the summary for this, of course it's going to be over the top. This is Russell Crowe just giving this woman, like he says at the beginning of the movie, the worst day of her life. And it does literally and figuratively go off the rails. Now, most of the time, I tend to kind of turn my brain off when I look at a movie like this, and this is definitely one you're going to have to do that for. When you get into the dialogue and some of the one-liners here, and it's not as bad in the first half, but later on, especially in that third act, there is one towards the main end given by our main character, and she spouts it out, and I'm just like, oh, and I look over at my wife, and she goes, oh, and we were both just, and it's supposed to be this turning point, this integral moment, I'm just, yeah, no. But, I mean, you watch this movie, and I'm not going to give the film flack for doing that, because I was actually kind of entertained. I mean, I don't know if it's to the point to where I can say it's a good movie, structure-wise, and there's a little sequence at the beginning kind of filling you in on where we are in that world, which is crazy enough, kind of where we are in our world, even though that was supposed to be a little overboard, a little too outlandish. We didn't need that. We could have just started out with Russell Crowe's character and given us that as the intro, but no, we got it, and there are certain points in this story where characters, they're just kind of doing stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense, and you're like, why are you doing that? Why are you making that decision? Why are you in this situation and saying that it doesn't make, stop it. Also, and this is such a nitpick, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you since we're talking the negatives. There is one line in the third act, actually it's two separate lines, but it's together, where it is just really obviously dubbed. Her lips are moving, but there's different words. It's a clear voiceover, and I've never seen, I mean, this is so, I mean, if you've never sseen a movie before and you're watching this for the first time, you will probably notice the dubbing in this scene. It's horrible. It's when she's in the car with her son. Just be on the lookout for it. It is. Austin, you said the movie was fun. Why are you sitting here bashing it? Okay, I'm just telling you the problems, the nitpicks that I had. But there's definite entertainment to be had. And if you're going to go back to the theater and you say, I want something a bit mindless, I just want to see this big action romp, it's filmed competently. These special effects are really good. I think, like I said, the actors, even though sometimes they're spouting out nonsense, they were genuinely giving good performances here. Let's start with Russell Crowe, who is owning this role. I mean, he is so good. He plays a good villain, that's for sure, and he is unhinged. I mean, that's what the movie is. I did want to know more about him, though. We get nothing. He's just kind of set off and doing this crazy stuff, but I like that, and I like how they're lifting restrictions around the city. They're saying at the beginning of the movie, oh, there aren't as many cops out, and he's like, listen, I don't care. Even when the cops do come, I don't care. I'm just going to do stuff in public, and if people film me, then they film me. And no limits to what this man does in this movie. And because of that, you get some crazy, bloody scenes, some well-executed. And that's what I'll say about the whole movie. It all looks good. On a technical level, I was so surprised. I guess the budget was bigger than I expected, but the car crashes and the choreography and the stunt work, it's all good, right? So there are really good elements. I thought this film had the potential to be a complete bust. And while it wasn't a good film necessarily when it comes to the overall script, I think as a whole, there are really solid technical elements that will give you, most likely, if you're not looking for anything too deep, a fun and good time. Also, I want to say Karen Pistorius, who plays Rachel, she does a good job. Gabriel Bateman as Kyle was very believable, and as a whole, I think the cast nails it. The look and the feel of the film is also pretty solid, a little dark at times, but Unhinged has, I think, everything audiences will want in a movie that requires you to kind of turn your brain off and accept this. I do think at times it takes itself maybe a tiny bit too seriously. It's like, if they would have pushed this idea more, maybe even set it more in a post-apocalyptic world instead of real life where people are making decisions, and I'm like, that's not what a person would do in real life. But okay, hey, look, Russell Crowe is doing something yeah, that's what I like to see. So overall, Unhinged features a messy script and odd character decisions you would find in a horror movie, but the film manages to be entertaining in spite of these issues, and I think a lot of people will have a good time. I still have to kind of turn on my critical brain and give it a score of a 55% just because of the problems that I mentioned, but it's not something that I wouldn't recommend, and even if you don't want to see it in a theater, it would be worth waiting on. Definitely worth a rental, because Russell Crowe, I mean, he's just so entertaining in this movie. He really is. I want to see more of this Russell Crowe. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said, plenty of reviews to come. Lucifer I'm binging through right now. Hoops on Netflix, possibly a live stream soon. I'll let you guys know. Regardless, appreciate you for watching. I will see you very soon.